Hey guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion. I am actually here with several special guests today. First of all, joined by Negative Root.
Hello.
Awesome. And Gepwin.
Hello.
And ACryInShame.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, so we're going to discuss Friday Facts together. This may become a regular thing, just me and some other guests, depending who's around. But yeah, so this one, unfortunately, we were talking earlier, for our first group session, this actually happens to be one of the most, I would say, non-eventful or boring Friday Facts we've had in a while. But yeah, so they just kind of go back and discuss what's happened in 2016, some stuff about the gray market and scams, and then a lovely new feature down at the bottom, which we'll cover in a few minutes. But yeah, I guess we can start, guys, with just what happened in 2016. I mean, there's not much point in me saying what they said. I mean, because really they just pretty much review what happened. 85% of all Factorio sales happened within the last 12 months via the Steam release.
But we knew that already.
Yeah,
we knew that Factorio had exploded. The fact that they're nearly at 1 million, like I'm not really that kind of a maths genius. However, $1 million times $20.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm thinking too. It's like, damn.
Yeah, well, depends how much Steam
awesome.
actually gives them.
Yeah, well, the Steam obviously doesn't give them that great of a share. I think it's like 45% or something.
Yeah.
Is what developers get. So they don't get that great of a share.
But
But
still,
even still,
like $10, so that's still
it's
good.
still $10 a copy, which, you know, they hit 1 million. That's the better part of 10 million bucks. You Kovarex right now, Kovarex, Cube, and all those boys, they're millionaires. That much we can probably bet on.
although actually,
And,
well, a little bit of just behind the scenes thing that I won't share. Well, I don't really know the details anyway, but what I've heard previously from a developer or two is that they actually do not pay themselves based on how the game does. Obviously, they're
so it's
quite
in the
well
company.
off, but yeah, they pay themselves just based on how much work they do, how long they've been with the company, so on and so forth, not based on how
Yep.
well the game does.
which is another good way of doing it, because then that guarantees the money doesn't just go into someone's
Disappear.
pocket. It goes into the company, which then they can use for further development. And
Yes, so
You
now
know, the
we
fact-
demand $10 million worth of development. Did math.
I think we already have that, dude.
the other thing is that this just means that Factorio 2 would probably happen if they're determined and keen. You know,
Space
they're
Torio.
going to have Space Torio, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
They're going to have the cash to actually develop it,
Oh,
which
yeah, definitely.
is something they wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Pretty
I
freaking
mean,
cool.
I spent a little time actually reading through it and kind of made a few notes on, even though it wasn't a whole
Notes.
lot of that they went through. Yes, there are actually a few notes I put down.
look at Mr. Prepared over here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Look at him, making us look bad. He's
I
the
don't
kid
even
that
do
rocked
that.
up to exams with notes while everyone else is rolling in and going, we'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what
For
happens.
the best.
one of the things that they mentioned in the thing was that that with the fraud that they're dealing with, that every time a fraud happens, that they pretty much lose a full sale worth of money and fees and fines
mhm.
because of those frauds. And it was kind of an interesting idea, like a thought process, where it's like an indie developer has to deal with that kind of a thing. So when you see those like $5, $6, $7 games, and if they get hit with fraud, they're not just losing the worth of that game you ended up buying, but like double or triple that amount. So for indie developers that have those kind of games, that's a challenge they have to get over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's actually quite big in the indie scene where fraud is happening. Like it's widespread, and it's not like there's so many different ways these third-party websites get these keys, and it's just bad. And at the end of the day, it's consumers have got to choose to pay more money. That's what it comes down to. People have got to choose to pay the full retail price for games like Factorio and support the developers, because if you buy them off like G2A and Green Man Gaming and all of those, the origin of those games, like the origin of those keys is grey. You don't know where they've come from. You don't know if they've bought them from the developer in some sort of wholesale deal Like I know that some sites will buy, say, like 10,000 keys at a reduced price, so that then they can on sell them. Some of them, however, just buy them from these randoms who have defrauded people's credit cards or PayPal's or whatever else. And there's also YouTubers going around who will ask a developer for, 4 or 5 copies or 10 copies of a game so that they can have one and they can sell 9 to these grey market resellers. So it's a pretty seedy underside to the indie market at the moment. And I'm not sure how much you guys run across it, but I've run across it a fair bit because I cover as many games as I can, and that involves contacting developers. And it's going to be interesting moving forward, and it's good to see that they've come up with a bit of a solution.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see them actually talking about it, because just
definitely.
knowing that it affects the developers, you just think like, oh, I lost the key, somebody got caught, but you don't think about like, well, now the developer is paying out of pocket for this thing. It's not like they made 0. They actually had to pay for you trying to steal their game.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're gonna steal the game. At least that's a 0.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that's true.
Don't buy it. Don't buy it from a grey website. So that's what we've come up here today. Either pay full price or just straight up steal it. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. That's. I feel like we need a disclaimer here. We are not advocating pirating.
No.
But seriously, it's $20 for a game.
For a game that you can
guys
easily get hundreds or thousands of hours out of.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I saw
it for lunch.
Yeah.
I understand the skepticism on a lot of these things, especially with the early access, but at the end of the day, you're going to say, like, I believe in the developer and where they're going with this,
Yeah, that's right.
And in the case of Factorio, it's already an amazing game, so you don't have to worry about it. But in early access in general, you're more saying, like, here's my idea that these guys are going to do a good job, so I'm going to give them money now for that.
It's kind of like Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're buying the idea as opposed to the product. And that's like, I've been around since 8.9, so quite a while. It's a couple of years now, and I bought the game back then because I saw it and I believed in the idea. And I suppose that's what you've got to realize, is that when you're buying early access games, you're buying an idea. You're not buying the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of the fraud thing. I'm glad they addressed it. They do say down here that they've addressed and pretty much fixed it with the Humble widget, and that they do actually list reputable Steam, GOG, and Humble Bundle, or Humble Store rather, are legit places. And I mean, as far as what's happened in 2016 and last year, I mean, like, that's the thing. They've done so much. I can't keep track. Like, with 0.12 released in the last year, what all did it add? 0.13 they said was the biggest update ever. I don't remember everything, but I know there was a lot.
Yeah, it was I remember doing the update video on that. It was like a 5-page list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, thankfully I missed that.
Yeah.
But coming back after missing 2 patches. So I played at the end of 0.12 and then coming back at the start of 0.14. It's kind of like, whoa. And all the things that have changed over the last 2 patches have been substantial, which, the momentum's still there for them, which is good. Some games slow down, but they haven't.
In fact, this almost seems like it's picking up. I mean, 0.15 is going to be the biggest they've ever done. I mean, the features are I can't even count them off the top of my head what they're adding in this next one.
$10 million does buy a lot of coding hamsters. So.
Yeah, speaking of which, they do mention some new members that they added over the last year, which most of these guys actually don't recognize. So I guess there's more behind the scenes than I realized.
Yeah, they actually list it that right after it's
we welcome Hansa and Dennis, Jurek, Norbert, Mishka, and Jitka. I only recognize 2 of those names.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So
I see. Yeah, well, there's got to be 20 people working there now. Well, there was probably 20 people a year ago.
Yeah, and they have several contractors too.
Yeah, they're definitely growing.
Seeding and he's been working for them for years now. Clonan moved in,
about a year ago. Yeah.
There's quite the team that they've got going there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would've-
which is good.
good.
I would have applied as well if I didn't live in the U.S.
Well, our seating
alright.
lives in the U.S. I mean,
Yeah,
to
he
be
just
fair,
travels across.
yeah, he's a Well, yeah, he lives in the U.S.
Yeah. I would have
yeah.
applied if I had any skill set.
Yeah, me too. I know.
This is pretty close to the truth.
Do you
for
want
me
some
as well.
Factorio videos made officially? That's what I would apply
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, that's right. What do you guys think of this kill statistics?
Yeah, this down here at the bottom. This is a new feature.
Yeah,
for
it's
15.
pretty cool. I can't imagine when I would use it, but it's
Yeah.
good.
No,
cool.
neither
I'm
can
not
I.
of
But
it.
it's cool. it's like
It's cool, but yeah, I don't
like
know.
the
I
circuit
personally wouldn't
network.
touch it.
it's a circuit network. It's cool. We've got
Yeah.
it. Don't know what you'd use it for, but hey, it's cool.
Yeah,
but I
it's
would
cool.
love- I'm sure there'll be a mod for this. I want something that lets you hook this into the circuit network.
Really, and what for?
Did he just cut out?
He
I
cut
think
out.
he just cut out.
Oh no,
He's
You
gone.
lost him.
he probably unplugged his headphones again,
Oh dear.
or his mic. Well, we'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, I think what he was getting towards is having you hook it up to the circuit network and maybe like display a number or do something like
I
that,
think that
or
would be actually kind of cool.
trigger an
you could,
event or
like-
something in your base.
It's like after you've killed so many biters, if something happens, it fires off a rocket or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
It seems weird though. If you're ever going to implement it in a factory, you always want the factory to react to an input rather than an output, if that makes sense. Like this is the result of something,
Mhm.
whereas you'd always want your factory to run on the input of something. So, for example, bullets
The
getting
input
low.
is dead
Like-
biters.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what does dead biters tell you about your factory? It doesn't tell you anything.
It tells me about how many biters I killed.
How bloodthirsty you are.
Yeah.
How
There was
many of
actually
those
a
poor little
mod.
biters you killed?
There's a mod where, like, when you kill a biter, it actually drops materials that you can use to make
Hmm.
things.
There's always a mod.
There's
But
always a
yeah,
mod.
pretty much.
There's always a mod. Dear me.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I mean, yeah, like you said, it's there. It's cool. I don't really know what I do with it, but it's there.
We got it.
We got it. If you ever want it, I'm
It's
sure
not easy
some
to read.
yeah, I'm sure some crazy genius will make some mod that's amazing with it. I mean, some of these mods that are out here, it's just like I don't even know how they thought of this stuff, but
Still waiting for the API update for Null 15. Can't
Yeah.
wait.
so I mean, really, like I said, this is one of the more uneventful Friday Facts. It would have been cool if I was doing this, because I wasn't even doing this at that point, but if I was doing this and we would have gotten together for, like, the one that, like, addressed nuclear power and stuff, now that would have been a discussion.
Yeah, well, we've managed
1
to fill
hour
up.
later discussion.
Yeah, well, like we've managed to fill up 13 minutes of nothing. So
Yeah, true.
I'm not sure how long the people want to sit through this kind of stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
shall we wrap it up here, gentlemen?
I think so.
Have we covered everything?
That is the entire Friday Facts. The only thing we didn't cover is some little thing about multiplayer and that they fixed previously, which covers the 2016 thing pretty much. So yeah,
Where they rewrote the multiplayer and changed it to server side, which has been a brilliant change.
Yeah, right.
yeah. Although it's still multiplayer still has issues. Like the performance
Oh, definitely.
you can get in multiplayer is still far lower than single player.
Oh, definitely, but that's because you're playing with people spread out across the world, and not everyone was born with equal internet either, especially those of us living in Australia.
Yeah, I mean, you
Moving
got
right along.
who knows what.
We
chewing on
won't
your
talk about
internet
that because that
cables.
just makes me mad.
Yeah. Well, hey, dude, you have really good internet. Last time I checked.
Yeah, I do now, but
Yeah.
the country
Sorry.
in general.
Speaking of internet, mine crapped out for a minute, so
Oh no.
Welcome back.
Well,
See, here's a
what
random
did I
fact,
miss there?
and we really need to wind this up. But do you know that Australia has, on average, slower internet than Slovakia?
really?
Oh,
That's it.
Oh
I'm
my
done.
gosh.
I'm out. I'll see myself out. I'm done. I'm done. See you later.
All right.
Just
See ya.
dropping, like,
I'm sorry, these are the jokes. I don't get any better than this.
I'll just do wait. So
Yeah. I will.
yeah, we should wrap it up. But I want to let Gepwin finish what he was saying. You said something about connecting this kill statistics to a circuit network.
Oh yeah, well they should do this for just all these statistics. If you could connect up this screen to a circuit network, then you could do things based on your overall, deaths or kills or whatever. And I'm sure someone will make a mod for it.
Yeah,
But
like
it'd be
nuke
such a
yourself.
useful,
There's always
such a
mod.
useful tool.
Yeah, that's true. I should just have one. Like, if you could do that, just have one that exits the game for me after I've been hit by trains more than twice. That happened pretty quick. 5 minutes in, all right, game's over.
I'm just gonna make a train counter on the next server I'm in. It's like every time I get hit by a train, it's okay, +1.
I think we're all going to need one of those.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, let's do this. It's nearly 20 minutes.
All right, shoot.
enough.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I already have a guess, but anyway, thank you, you guys as well for joining. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can do it again next week.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you for having me.
And hopefully
guys.
there will
Of
be
course.
more information next week. So
Yeah.
Yeah, bigger Friday facts.
Oh yeah, there probably will. Anyway, I think that'll do it. Again, thanks, guys, and to the viewers, I'll catch you later, and do take care.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year.